travel when they travel go China, no very, very much important. Then can consider for delay the travel. So we they say, if you go na then country and you come inside with country Sierra Leone, and you come there within 14 days, that are 2 weeks, we go make you do what we call managed quarantine or what we call mandatory quarantine. We means to say we go put you on site and we will go watch you, they look you. If nothing not happen after that 14 days, we will make you go about your normal business.
Mr. Thomas, let me make it very clear. Inside this press release, is it that we stop people not for come out of the country or not?
We not stop. We say we advise people because like public health principle all over the world. If threat in another country, then they advise. Advice, and not mean to say we say not go. Now the Ministry of Health in responsibility for advise people and advice with the advice.
The ministry actually they foresee any threats?
Of course, we not get the coronavirus outbreak in Salon, but the only way we go get them now from then country, then importation of the virus. That is, somebody must bring and come inside the country. We not get coronavirus infection at Salon, and we go only get them if people pull them from out mainland China and other countries where this virus they circulate right now. So now that for me and you, for we all your own health. Now that we not want to make somebody bring and come. Because when once a day, it go difficult for them, we go control them. So now that make we say person where they can inside. As a rule, we go just check you. Once you not get fever, you know the cough, you know the sneeze, you not get difficulty in breathing. We not say we not go suspect you, not to suspect. We will just say if you not get them, fine. We go encourage you for come. But the only thing we will provide side way we go able for manage, you for like 14 days, and we check you. After that 10 days, you're free for go back.
In the area of, side for keep somebody where maybe una go down suspect say in temperature very, very high. That kind of side there?
Now, well, if you suspect say the person can inside in temperature very, very high, then he gets other signs and it's different from the one where we can, we're nothing other one, but now just for precautionary measure, we go say, well, you there make we check you, take 14 days. But if not that one day, then, we suspect and say, he get that signs and then we go do the test. Fortunately, we get facilities for do the test in country, so we go do the test. If a positive, then we go put you aside with the case management people and the one that we then sabi for manage case for treat people and for them kind of thing and they then go begin to treat you.
As much as you say advice, they advise, this not just one interview we they do. In terms of educating the people beyond waiting we they do, within the Ministry of Health actually they do.
We don't craft messages them. We don't put on a different formats them, like a posters them, flyers them, leaflets them, don't do video, face-to-face talk, we don't they go on radio, we they go on television, we they engage communities them. Very recently, as recent as Saturday, we even go do orientation for all the health education officers them to each district. And apart from that, we don't strengthen with point of entry, we don't heighten with surveillance, we don't position certain facilities in place in case we don't also activate or escalate with Public Health National Emergency Operation Center outside Sudan to a level 2.
Well, that's now Harold Thomas. We in our communications lead and program manager health education at the Ministry of Health and Sanitation. We did talk on that interview with Mohammed Sherif, but measures them where the Ministry of Health don't put in place for ensure say coronavirus no come salon.
Well, the time for my studio clock now 7:38, and we come over to our studio guest. We na Julius Daniel Matai this morning. They asked so for can talk about the plenty issue we don't dey na the mining sector. As we don't hear different information them, but in other area them we plan for can talk about this morning. Well, and the National Mineral Agency na a government institution were established by an act of Parliament in 2012. The NMA responsible for the day-to-day implementation of the Mines and Minerals Act of 2009 and other mining acts them and also related regulation them. Well, this morning we, like I say, we get the Director General at the studios. We get he don't graduate 28 years ago with masters in geology and minerals exploration. He get masters in environment and mineral resources management. It don't work at both the public and private sector, now the UK, EU, Liberia, and Salon. They work as consultants just before President Bill appointed him as Director General. Well, they get vast experience in the mining sector, and also 1 year ago, like I say, President Bill appointed as the Director General for NMA. Now, this is not the very first step they get you 1 year after President Bill appointed you as the DG of NMA. I don't get the brief background of NMA, but you tell me, give me more information on NMA as Director General.
Okay, well, good morning. Thanks very much for the opportunity you give me for can talk to the nation for the first time, and also we countrymen and women, including with friends that were abroad who are interested, for know about the mining sector. I know that the mining sector over the last 1 year has been very topical, and as I mentioned, this week will be 1 year anniversary at the National Minerals Agency. But interestingly enough, I still want to remind people the NMA is not a strange institution to me, because I worked there in 2013 and 14 for nearly 12 months. I'll be the manager for geodata information management. I'll be able to begin put the first systems in place. As I can say, the NMA, as you rightly said, an act of government will be established in 2012. But the actual institution opened that time, the Weekends Road in 2013 March. If you watch out, now nearly 7 years now in existence. But let me just clarify one thing. You see, the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources now get the overall mandate in the mining sector. So now they're responsible for the political wing, and also they're responsible for the formulation of policies in the mining sector. The NMA is an agency. Now the World Bank and development partners, including the EU, will become with that idea, say we for need for split, policy formulation from policy implementation. And so the NMA are actually the regulatory and technical wing where they support the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources. Me as a Director General, of course, are answerable to the NMA board, but directly also answerable to the Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, Honorable Fodurado Yoki. So we actually work for the minister, whereas the minister and the political head, the technical regulatory head. And we mandate, as I can summarize now, for actually maximize the benefits with Australians that they get from mineral resources. And this, before that, the agency be established in 2000, we opened in 2013. There has only been one Director General, my predecessor, Mr. Sawunde, who everybody know. So me take over in February 2019. So I just want to let people know, say we the regulate, we are the technical wing, but they're under the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources.
So how don't they carry on a responsibility for being the technical and regulatory head?
Well, of course, as a Director General, I get 5 directorates: Directorate of Mines, Directorate of Geological Survey, Directorate of Precious Minerals Trading. We get Directorate of Community Affairs and Public Relations. Then, of course, Director of Financial Administration. Now, they provide the day-to-day oversight for this. Then the main instrument where they guide the work we do now, the Mines and Minerals Act of 2009. Again, I just want to bring out to people the attention. One of the challenges the world they get now, the sequence in which we come up with, we lost them, and regulations the way they guide the sector. When the government became in power in 2007, the previous APC government, the Ministry of Mines, now actually they don't call it Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources. It was called Ministry of Mines and Political Affairs, and at that time, NMA not be in existence. At that time, the Directorate of Mines, Directorate of Geological Survey, they all be in the ministry in a U building. So that NMA actually drive that act where they be make them, but prior to that, now be only up to 1993, which will be called mining a decree. So they actually cover that sector without really much knowledge about the key things they will need to take care of. So in 2009, together again with the World Bank and so many development partners, they do the 2009 Mines and Minerals Act. Up to this point where they say, now we don't use and we're in the process of revising. But now the challenge is NMA, they establish the Act of 2012, established in 2013. Then transfer the Director of Mines, Director of Geological Survey, the Precious Minerals Trading, now they call them before now be GDDO, Government Diamond, Gold and Diamond. So then come under the NMA. But notwithstanding that, the Mines and Minerals Act, we main instrument they use. You look through, they see one mention of NMA there inside, You know, they even see one mention of Director General.
We can't talk about the review where
Yeah.
the plan for do, but inside you talk about now una responsible for regulate support, the technical support, and also una they see how the country they go benefit.
That's correct.
From the natural mineral where the country gets.
That's
but,
correct.
for the last 10 years,
Yeah.
we all in this country we see how the mining sector don't really boom. When nowadays the economy, the country be able to pass for the
That's
economy.
correct.
But in the last 1 year or so, serious challenges don't they in the sector. Also, we can't talk about the cancellation of mining license. But what's the challenge you they get in the sector?
Well, I just want to bring it to people's attention. The challenges have always been there, not only in the last 1 year. You know, we begin mining this country artisanally from 1930s. We begin with gold and iron ore. I mean, for years, from 1930 right up to 1975, iron ore and diamond had then become the backbone. We know what will happen there with Delco and Lonsawo, the top, but we beget Delco. We mined it from 1930 to 1975. When we beget the economic crisis in 1973, then went into serious, the commodity prices dropped because of that oil crisis. They went into serious financial difficulty. Even with at that time, the government, money at that time, that be $2.5 million, and then try for help. They're not able. So 1975, it actually go into administration. Then by 1981, we get Austria, farm will become, it take up to 1985. INSAI not able to manage the tailings. Then for long, nothing nobody happened in that area until we get London mining, we come. Then African minerals. This was, you know, as you rightly said, the booming years. They were two begin producing oil in 2011. Sure, with GDP, it rise from minus 25 to 25%, nearly 50% percentage point. At that time, we be the export iron ore in 2012 and 13, over $1 billion. Over $1 billion just from iron ore. Everybody know, London mining, the jobs will be created that time there, and the opportunities will be exist. African minerals as well. But what it don't happen when in 2014 we get the Ebola. Most of them companies then they not be able to survive because their young job actually in be new mining companies there, and the Ebola and the commodity prices. Just imagine iron ore fall from $190 to about low 30s. So they're not able to survive then lock. So those challenges have been there since that time. All way to happen, of course, now be in November 2014, we African minerals, London mining, they begin send some distress call. London mining not be able to survive. They go into administration in October 2014. African minerals in March 2015. Ever since, just imagine, we economy where they project growth with development partners at plus 30% contribution to the GDP, are going to the nosedive to minus. So from that time, over the last 6-7 years, it's been a challenge. Yes, we think can happen over the last few years. Now we don't have Bupa diamond and bauxite and rutile. Then recently we get, company SL mining come. Now that area, don't forget say na London mining be there. We go into administration in October 2014. Frank Timmins take over. It's after 6 months he go into administration. Then nothing happen again until March 2017 when SL mining get that license. Then they go into production just in the first quarter of 2019. But then they're not ever able to really export the way the way London mining African minerals be they do, and commodity prices be don't just increase. That time we don't just go over just 100. So the challenge in the mining sector, not only in iron ore, we get this in bauxite, we get this in rutile, and the challenges. I'm sure you want to ask some question. I will actually highlight the
challenges where you don't talk with the company they go to. In a day we see now governments when I can cancel the license them.
Now let's talk about that. As I say, we're a regulator and we're a law-abiding people and citizens. Let's be honest, every country, the rule of law is extremely important. When we talk about governance, I think the rule of law, the institutions and the economy are all important. Every mining, any country with a mine, you must get your law. Currently, as I say now, the Mines and Minerals Act of 2009 we get the Mines and Minerals Operational Regulation 2013. We clearly spell out all the things them where a mining company where they come which they do. And we get various categories. You get the one where they can do reconnaissance, so they we call prospecting, exploration. Then we get small scale mining, large scale mining, and alluvial. It did it in 187 clear articles, what you for doing your obligations. Let people also remember this. Where we give mineral rights, you also get obligations for which you get for, make sure you adhere to. We as a regulator, if we fail the people of Sierra Leone by not taking those regulatory actions correctly and making sure, say, even the investors, the way they take the risk, they come, we guide and protect them. Then, of course, we roll.
So now, the risks that we've been there, where some of them come near, they operate without going through the regulations, then we then supposed to uphold. You
see, we can this country, if you're not large scale, as I said, we'll do them by category. If you're not large scale mining company, they can apply for license. You get certain requirements away from it. Like if, of course, apart from just going to the NMA apply, you get to do environmental impact assessment where they take into consideration all the impact, both social, economic impact on the communities and the area which they apply. You get to apply for land lease, or you get for sign community development agreements. You get for carry with a very demonstrable mining plan. You get for carry with a financial model for tell you say we don't carry you invest with the get license for 25 years. This you they do. Now the projections, this is the commodity prices, your internal rate of return, your net present value, your average weighted cost of capital. So they look at them, and then they look at that and look at the tax regime we get, which royalties if we pay, which fees if we pay. Now a whole dialogue, we engage the companies them, and what we don't give that license there, now make we get the Directorate of Mines, and we get inspectors them, and we get mine monitors them, where they go and make sure say you do what you need for do. I don't want to just focus too much on the cancellation because I want to get the context in which they regulate. Without that, I think we lose a whole lot of stuff. Now, that did not happen over the past 1 year. As I said, there's a difference between perception and reality. There's a difference between fact and opinion.
So it's
at the fact.
Okay.
This, on the 3rd of June, we terminate the license for Tonkolili Oil Project and the associated African Rail and Port Services, which we call Shandong. We know that be London and be African Minerals be there, then later Shandong take over. Shandong be get 25% initially. When African Minerals went to administration, they took over 100%. Now, let I remind people there as well, before we terminate the Shandong Iron and Steel Group on the 3rd of June, then we don't already take voluntary suspension of the operations from November 2017, which is allowed by law. Because again, as you said, the flexibility and the dialogue this will go to mining company. Because when the commodity prices are high, the companies that they make profits are okay. But when the commodity price go low, most of them they cry distress that they ask for. When I give it time because it costs, extremely high. So now down the time when Shandong take place, we get iron ore over $100, it be okay. But once it go low, now they actually take and the lay of people. I trust you want to know about that. From November, some people in this say without benefits and everything. So then we don't already realize it, they need to go back into production. Rather than get liabilities, local suppliers as well as international suppliers and creditors. So then they try for liquidate. But the law make it clear as well. If you give mineral right, you just go liquidate like that. If you engage with, and nobody not eligible for mineral right, if you go into liquidation, especially the type of voluntary liquidation they want to go into. So we already know, without 10 meetings, now make us say we get fact. They need over $800 million to $1 billion for just restart.
So because una been fair not say they want for liquidate, make una pick them up, say.
That are just one of the things. The updated mine plan, nobody submit them. We get to a new license for actually provide reports to we quarterly, some one in a monthly, some one in a yearly. They nobody do. Even the mining license, they nobody pay for two. They not pay. They nobody pay. So it was just there. Let we learn from history. We see what don't happen to people when they are the mining companies. Where they don't can the mining companies, they just lock and go like that. I remember when Frank Timmy said, "Be lucky you're not London mining area, Namarampa." We take over London mining. When London mining go into administration, we lost people, they lost job creditors, local or what. They're the same thing Frank Timmy's do them. African Minerals do them. Shandong want to do the same thing. So let's be honest. We as regulators, if we see don't kind thing and they happen, we fail. We call them. We write to them severally. They're not even respond. So again, the law allow us, and I still repeat to people here, everything we do is legal and correct. And I will say again, I challenge anyone, the lawyers, the representatives or what, of people who are letting come and tell and say, we do them accordingly. Right. Then not just with Shandong. Yeah. SL mining, we don't make a lot of noise again. I want to bring to people's attention again. Everything we do legally within the laws that we the government, we mines the mineral sector and the regulations. Again, I don't want to really go much into detail because currently we get arbitration, they go on. Yeah. SL mining on the 30th of August 2019, They go apply at the International Chamber of Commerce in the International Court of Arbitration in London. You know, first before that, on the 20th of August, they will take emergency arbitration. We dispute those arbitrations. I just come to London recently. We and the Attorney General's office and members of my team in London, where we go on the 10th, you know, for the first arbitration will be the get. And that will be purely on jurisdictional issues, whether the ICC actually gets jurisdiction for adjudicate that case, because where the mining lease agreement will get a going 90 days cooling period in which we will try in good faith for rich negotiation. SL might not be even abide to that. Again, as I say, I don't really want to go too much into the details, because of course we see all the false information. They go there, they say we don't lost cases, they don't sue in 800 million, they for mind this. I want to assure the public all under complete fake, complete fallacy. Again, I will just clear the Attorney General, they actually put a press release out. Shandong first, not ever take it to any international court, rather than be local court, purely because they began the bench in August 2017 against the asset. That again, we try for resolve with them. Now they actually approach we, but after SL Mining, as I say, can we go to the International Chamber of Commerce in London for arbitration? Then they also can we go now US now, which we call ICSID, International Center for Settlement of Investment Dispute. That case, you know, even carry itself.
So
we know as they
the
not
one
begin
in
find
London,
it. That just done. Then the care one go back to the local court and US for go enforce the emergency arbitration order, who believe say it was not done in good faith and it was faulty, where we still object to jurisdiction. So no case has been done since we go London. That the arbitration will go on the 10th. We not even still hearing from the arbitrators there. It was very interesting. We expected to go for a week or more, but after one day they asked for time out. So we don't care. We wait for hearing from them.
So let me look at SL Mining.
Okay.
Before all this issue come, when I go into negotiation with them, or talks with them for say what did they do wrong or what did they do right?
Of course, Asma, I just want to make sure, you know, we're a responsible and very credible institution. I mean, I want to make this, when investors that they can invest in this country, we get for buy them. Because the risk that they take for Canada, this country for invest, it will be so stupid of us for just grab company where they come invest. They will just grab one day, we say, hey, you know, we're not glad, we'll just go cancel it. No. As I say, we are people who believe in dialogue. Now I make for the since at the end we don't employ 275 monitors. Each mining company, we actually get mining monitors in the day. We get, I mean, again, as I say, sometimes it's not fair on the public, because we say Mr. Director General are privy to all the files, all the information and everything. Documents, then there we invite SL Mining, you know, to meetings. We engage them before they want to export. Me self go there in March. We go see the Canada. We bought room. They do presentations, things that we're not happy with. We try to tell them. We correct them. This thing we don't start long ago. Where we be, I mean, not to the current minister Rado Yokiwe, Honorable Rado Yokiwe, but we Dr. Manyebi there. If we don't begin engage them. So, but you know, again, as I say, we're not regulators, and as much as we're not regulator, we also get for make sure so we self-sabi with law and we sabi with right, and making sure say anything we do, we know the ramifications. We get not apart from just the Mines and Minerals Act of 2009, we get mining lease agreement again, where the parliament be ratified. We're very familiar with all those clauses, and we call them.
Mr. Matai, we also understand, say, before this cancellation, we the courts, the International Chamber of Commerce Court, they ask for lift, the ban made the export force while the case they go on, but that's the agency not being grieved for. How true is that? Again,
honestly, I don't want to let this discussion revolve around SL Mining, because two things. The Office of the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice, they represent the government of Sierra Leone. Litigation, they go on arbitration, normally in private issues. Okay. And no one, everything we are saying here, we get people that we will use them as well as evidence. Not that I try to make up any story here, but that not to me on, you see where camp legal issues, arbitration, jurisdiction, we don't go international. Not to the NMA, they represent that. Now, a whole body of lawyers, now they deal with that. But one thing I just want to make sure, when the emergency order of August 20 was issued, then they applied for the full arbitration on August 30th. The Office of the Attorney General reply and answer to those. Again, as I said, the reason why we all be go London on the 10th of January. Now, for object to those issues, there are a lot of other issues. I honestly, when I forgive me the nation, again, what I say, me not to lawyer, we get institution, we na their own fact. The Office of the Attorney General, we don't put out press release.
We're not can work like in terms of advice, because they deal with the people indirectly.
Of course. I mean, as I say, you see, when we not only on mining issues, we get to think of diplomacy, we get to think community issues, political issues, economic issues. We get various MDs that we work with. We know they work in isolation. As much as I get 20 years experience, I don't get monopoly over knowledge. Now we don't even get lawyer the inside NMA, the office of the Attorney General. Now then they provide law. Anything will get letter, anything they do not clear, we seek advice. And not only that, the Attorney General itself currently on the SL mining case, they get a reputable international firm where they actually advise them. But what I really want to talk about, the achievements and the things that we do in the mineral sector for giving people a hope that not all, this story about the cancellation, it not make any impact on the economy, and I can explain to you how and why.
Let's continue for the week at the studio, Julius Daniel Mathai, we na the Director General na NME. The program Good Morning Salon, they continue 8 a.m. na the time from the studio clock with the take short commercial break and look at more issues na the program.
Salon Commercial Bank don't come with new banking products them for make life easy. With Million Online Bank and Million Mobile App, you can able for use Salon Link money transfer for send money to anybody in like you not get bank account. Transfer or receive money na the same bank or any other bank. Transfer money to person or office in like you not get the account number. Buy Edsalight, pay other bill them, and now get advanced salary. You don't need for worry again but almost money then you earn. Because you can able for pay for things the way you buy in a supermarket and other shop them with the quick response code payment. Yagbadon done for the boss man them. With Million Online Direct, you can upload salary, pay all you supplier them, sell forex to Salon Commercial Bank, and watch your account anytime. If you need the app, download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store, or go to Salon Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, delivering value.
The program Good Morning Salon they continue, and we look at other issues at the program. Also, the Deputy Commissioner at the Anti-Corruption Commission, Augustine Fode-Bobido, asked Ministry of Health and Sanitation, the Ministry of Health and Sanitation, and serve the Ministry of Agriculture for work with the policy where the Transport Ministry and Civil Aviation don't develop for tap the way how it say people they misuse government fuel, motorcar and other facility them because they say the law go bet them if they not do that after 3 months. Well, it talk this after where the commission go present a monetary report on how the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Agriculture don't they use fuel, motorcar and other government facility them.
We don't find out say year in year out audit report they come out and they talk about the misuse, abuse of we motorcar them, the fuel where government they spend huge money per now. So that being for take we attention as a commission for let we take a preventive approach. Now that make we institute this preventive method. We look at how then two ministries they manage them fleets and fuel.
Why that of the Ministry of Agriculture and that of the Ministry of Health, considering government get more than 10 ministries?
Well, then two ministries, na big ministries, and the area where they cover in terms of the service where they need to offer is so big and it concerns the livelihood of every Sierra Leonean. So before we go to other small ministries, now that make we start with then two ministries because now large ministries, and they take chunk of government money. So if we get information from the audit and other sources that they know they manage them motorcar them well, they know they manage them fair, we believe so for Kande.
Deputy Commissioner, what are some of the key issues where una actually find out based on una monitoring and then two key ministries there?
We can't find out say motorcar then are them ministries where you not even register, you not assigned to any specific person. We also find out say them ministries and they pay for fuel, but that fuel they we don't know would I use them, would I not use them, who side they use them. And if they see government institutions, particularly big ministry, where they get bigger responsibility, they use government resources in that manner, then can practice and they are not acceptable and for correct and henceforth.
And this now one way una find out now the two ministries?
Yes, it's so common now the two ministries.
Based on the issues them actually where una look at now the two key ministries, what are some of the key recommendations where una bring out for ensure say then things they are where you just don't highlight, not actually continue.
Well, one good thing where it come out that the Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation, they don't come up now with a fleet management policy. So would they ask then two ministries for work with them policies then they, so that then tia way it don't they happen. We say government motorcar they nobody know able account how for user, then can't tia not go happen. So now some of them recommendations they will make, and they will get for continue for monitor. We don't give them up to 3 months. After 3 months, we get for come re-evaluate how far they don't implement then recommendations them.
After the 3 months.
After the 3 months, if we find out say their recommendations and no, they not do them, then provisions and they inside the Anti-Corruption Act as amended in 2019 for let we invoke the necessary punishment sanctions.
Initially, you've been say the things them way una fan out under the two different ministries then. You know, government they lost plenty couple according to you. How much you think say between the year of 2017 to 2018 government actually lost in terms of the fear and that of the fleet management who they talk about?
Well, when they talk about billions of loans, not only ACC find out that, even the audit service religion don't find out that. So when they talk about billions of loans, I'm not going to be able to quantify now, but this report today will be able to tell you that audit service, the report will be able to tell you how much really it be done they go in the drain as a result of mismanagement of fleets and fear, and then two ministries.
So the ACC get planned for look at another different ministries and we're very key in terms of the present government in service delivery agenda we didn't get.
Certainly. After this one now, in fact, not only after here, as we talk, work in progress now other MDAs like Ministry of Basic and Senior Education, Ministry of Higher and Tertiary Education. We tell our other MDAs, as we speak now, we get with teams and other ministries where then they replicate the same effort.
Well, that's not the Deputy Commissioner and the Anti-Corruption Commission, Augustine Fodego, they talk about that interview day with Mohammed Sherif, but decision we then plan for do after 3 months if people where they work in different government ministry departments and agency them not go according to the law where the Ministry of Transport and the Civil Aviation Authority be don't put together, but how then they use government fuel, motorcar and other facility them.
We continue with the program. Good morning, Salon. 6 minutes after 8, now the time for my studio clock. We still get the Director General and the National Minerals Agency, Julius Matai, inside the program this morning. They clarify and talk about something them we changes developments in that sector. We can look at the successes of you agencies said the last 1 year, but like we say we get some issues them where we don't hear plenty where we also need for clarifying now. In as much as we don't want to base this interview on SL mining, but on one big investor company where we don't come where we don't operate in the country, and with suicide presidents build they go and encourage investors for come. So one example go I believe so get an impact on other investors coming. But let we look at as the courts they proceed, we'll see USAI the AG again in office don't ask for make SL mining pack and load and come on na the country. How the courts go and this they happen?
Okay, again, I just want to bring this to your attention. You know, one of my cliches that I always say, you know, let's don't leave our fears, let's leave our hopes. You see, the mining sector is bigger than one investor. Let's just give you, quick figures. In 2019, the total mineral export in value from Sierra Leone about $350 million, for which the government gets roughly about $54 million. Now, when you break that down, we get what we call tax and non-taxes revenue. The non-taxes now, like what they get, who issue mining license, then also, where they pay license fees and all the rest, we get about $9 million. Okay? Then when we look at the one taxes actually, where the companies then they pay, when we look at the commodities, when we take iron ore for the whole of 2019, now just over $100,000. I look away the mine rutile, now over $3.4 million. Then we get, gold and diamond one about $5.5 million. So when you talk one big investor, up to 20, I be do some series of presentation, I collect all SL mining, then contribution, where they don't do, non-taxes, plus taxes, now be $2.9 million. for the whole of 2018, starting from 2018 when they go into production. We not even make a 1% of which actually now with GDP. Then I point out to everybody, out of that money there, which we call it taxes, we get the money where they pay withholding tax, payee. Now mostly in Sierra Leoneans. There is not really when we say big investor, maybe the criteria owner they use, now maybe based on the sound bites where they go to the media. But we get, as I say, we get the largest reserve of natural root in the world. Largest reserve of natural root in the world, 30% in this country. I look at the mine for 2019, they contribute the total value export now over $154 million. How you compare that to somebody where they do 2.9? Even royalties where they for pay, as I say, once you go through NRA, now less than 100,000.
So how
now when we look at even artisanal miners, the way they mine, then your contribution alone together with Kwedu Holding, now about then to the no more, now over 109 million. Now 168 million. Then Kwedu Holdings now over 105 million total value of export. Artisanal now over 69 million. When we take bauxite now over 64 million. When we even look at gold, where we always say we do gold concentrate for the first time in 2019 we are beginning. That you the miner we send gold concentrate at 5.5 million. So I want to let people really understand every time we talk about mining. I want really let we project with mindset. For years we don't say we're reaching gold, diamond, this and that, but it actually benefits with people. If people are not getting figure they are, the noise within the media, then they will get it wrong. We don't make a lot of improvements. Imagine, well, let's just say one thing. Let's just people get this. As I say, 150 million in 2019. In 2018, now be $293 million. When you look, it's over $50 million improvement. Then when you look before that, now be 320 million. So I don't want to really focus on SL mining. I want to talk about the mining sector. People are concerned about how this affect the economy. And I want to talk about. People are talking about the jobs. How that happen? They want to know where I make press conference recently at say by the end of the year, based on projection, we could create 16,000 jobs. People don't want to know how or why.
Yes.
I want to talk about that.
Well, they can't talk about that. But before we come on here, say all questions, inquiries, you feel free for us. And all doubts, like what you say, I want to say,
focus too
noise
much on.
Not true, but noise not too, not then at the media.
Okay.
Now clarification that we need.
All right, then go ahead.
We they cancel the other one then.
Okay.
In terms of SL mining,
Yeah.
we understand say the Americans get an in it, interest in it. So you not think say this cancellation will affect the relationship between Saloni and the Americans?
Governance is a bigger picture. Not a cancellation. I say governance after everything to do with politics, diplomacy, institution building, economy. Just going back to your question, you said the Attorney General put out a press release, a notice in the Gazetteer. We say they can't take the property. Again, let's just educate people then just on this issue. Where Frank Timis go into administration at that place and in March 2015, it began liability of $225 million will be owed to 4 banks led by Standard Chartered. We get First Nigerian Bank, Rand Bank, Eco Bank. Then say this money, now the time we London mining be they exist. Where Frank Timis take over that assets then in October 2014. It's disputed. Some people are saying at 3 million they pay, some people are saying at 10 million depending on price what Cooper House within and be the administration. I don't know. But Frank Timis take that debt. Inherit them, not to forsake go take money from the bank demo. This money that will be take from London mining. Where SL mining can take over, let we realize the time SL mining also apply for that license. Now there be Frank Timis in mining corporation 75%. So they be inherit that debt as well. So then that asset where they use SL mining not to them bill. They be just add some few cyclones there. So now the banks then say whoever take that license there, because we get what you call section 54. We don't terminate your license. The government get right for ask you for a register for all your assets and tell which you take, which you know they take. Then we will take that money there, we compensate the one way they take the license, now they pay then we compensate. The one we provide the license. I just want to make this clarification. Yeah. So where SL mining take that in there, then say, okay, the value of the asset now about 5-6 million. We say now 90 million. Well, when I say, okay, when I pay this, they say they know they pay. But then grab, then say, whether the banks, they go make agreements for 225 million for say, well, then go pay the banks that money they based on with mineral resource, not tied to them. So if we cancel the license or the NSF and go, we will Salon government go they for pay, then banks the 225 million forever. Then we get 6 companies that we talk saying that they get the property. 6 companies, including SL mining. So the AG just writes here, Anyone, the bank say una say na una get am.
So
the arbitrators the administrator una say na una get am. So you just put inside gazette say anybody will get it. They can't take am.
Miss question I be ask you now if this relationship with Sierra Leone and the Americans go affect them based on SL mining.
Again, you see, any relationship it gets not to one person depend par. We don't get investors in there from Australia, from Africa. I mean from America, from UK, from China, from India, from Russia. Currently we get 15 large-scale mining license for operational. Yeah, where would they look at? Not to nationality would they look at? Would they look at the competency of the mining company, economically and technically, for count work with we on win-win basis, create job for people.
Also, the bilateral relations
we get
along with other countries.
Yeah, we get which we call BITs, bilateral investment treaties. We get only with 4 countries. UK now one. SL mining later move over there. We're very much mindful. Again, I once said this to people. Where I sit as a director general, where they make decisions, or where they provide options to the government, I get for put that hat on not only as an engineer or as a mining person. I get for member politically, diplomatically, socially, economically, and everything. So we're very much aware. And we could do due diligence. From 2020, we get under the Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative for do now beneficial ownership. So we get for know that actually they can mine. What can happen? Companies that they come, they go register in the UK, then they go register in the British Virgin Islands, they say 500. They form other companies, subsidiaries of other companies, they come. So they don't even know that they be in. So when they're ready for pack, they just pack and go. Now the same thing happen will be the SL mining. SL mining, the agreement where the government signed with the SL the mining lease agreement. Now with a company where they call Gerard Iron Ore Limited, now British Virgin Islands day. And not get any association with the others. So we don't even know exactly if something they would have go do this. So I just wonder
one
we know.
way the president Abu Pam for go convince investor and for come na the country and can invest. And with all this for some people na drama they happen at the mining sector, cancellation today, somebody they go court. Yanda how somebody waiting at other country go be clarified or convinced say as for come mine na the mining sector with these cancellations them. How then they help the sector?
That inform the public here again. You see, it's rather unfortunate, and our job there for educate people. When this thing they go on, this sound bites everybody. So investors, no one can salon the perception. I always say there's a difference between perception and risk. Normally, for can't do business now, we get World Bank, which they call ease of doing business. In a country, they put all the country, they give their index. The last couple of years, salon we did 163 out of 190. But the criteria for ease of doing business, whether they use for general business, is different from waiting people where they can invest in mining exploration. They look at. We get index what they call Fraser Institute Index. Every year they do survey. Which that they look at. In fact, they call them now investment index. Now it relates to mining. It look at 2 components: your mineralization and also the public policies where they regulate the sector. We're different from the general perception. Okay. Every year, the one last year Sierra Leone actually appeared, maybe 2016. We did 87 out of 129. So the investors, the way they can mine, then a different thing that they look for. Now, how stable the regulatory environment is, the tax regime, the duplications the way you can for environmental impact assessment license or outside forested or non-protected areas then they. They want to know whether they get the labor. They want to know whether they get the skilled people and for work with. They want to know what's in the relationship within the communities them.
So after they don't look at all these, then they also talk to people who don't invest in the country.
Exactly.
Before. And if they ask, if they go and they do due diligence in company like a SL Mining, for example, or Shandong, then go give good reference.
You're not correct. You see, as I say, we just come on the mining in Indaba, investing in mining in Indaba 2020, the 26th one. For the first time in Sierra Leone, we actually go get a booth where we showcase what they do. We actually get country case study. We invite all the 6 CEOs of the companies that they operate now. Iluka, Kwedu Holdings, Vimetco, they all. Nobody not talk say under all the people that not can invest now. Rather, the country case study.
Not today they will go ask them.
No, wait. And I make us say we read the wrong areas. Okay. We say Assistant Director General, the Fraser Institute Index, now they look at. Because that definitely the mining journals where they read, the articles, and they engage investors them. You see, unfortunately, we don't know they engage investors. I get one that right now, since we do the cancellation there, it past 20, 30 companies that we don't actually express interest.
But they don't come.
Well, we don't go, wait, for invest, not to just grab it, go. You get for due diligence, and as well where they talk about
the mineralization not get any effect to the one that we want can mine at all?
Of course, like anything with anybody they do. you get what you look for, you know what you want. Again, let me bring it to the people their attention. All studies in the world, the first thing where any investor they look for, now the quality and the size of your mineralization. Nobody will go mine some say mineral no day. And we bless as we are Leon, we get iron ore, bauxite, rutile, platinum metals, we get coltan, this and that. So now the first thing that they look for, I challenge you now, any side of the world, nobody know they go mine some say mineral no day. Salon we get luck. You understand? We get 14.5 billion tons of iron ore, 11.5 million carats of the one don't know who will know of diamond. We get 4.5 million ounce of gold. We get 867 million tons of rutile, the best in the world. We don't just complete the nationwide geophysical survey. Now we go market in Indaba.
Right.
Look at the interest rate people at the show. We don't.
We look at
so let we actually say where people that they look for invest, not about SL mining no more they go read. Then they look at a whole basket of things, and that's not the important thing.
All right, continue for the return of the program. Okay, we look at the cancellation, how the impact it gets on the economy.
Better don't come. A Union Trust Bank again. Union Salon Banco. Union Trust Bank get plenty product and service there for you. You must get what you want to go better. Like we savings account, ide. Current account, ide. Fixed deposit account, ide. Credit facility, ide. All for you. Me and you. Union Trust Bank, that's a loan for me and you. Kids future savings account, ide. School fee savings account, ide. Pay advance salary scheme there. We branch and they all up on Nasalon. Bokono Kenema, we dey. Kabala Mabogo Kakambia, we dey. Jala Freetown Lunsa, we dey. And my 91, me and you. Union Trust Bank, me and you. Union Trust Bank, Union Trust Bank, Nasalon for me and you. Union Salon Banco. Union Trust Banco.
Union Trust Bank, empowering Sierra Leonean businesses.
8:21 at the time from Studio Clock. We continue with the program. Well, the Budapest-Bamako Africa run go end na salon. Usai about 700 tourists them from 80 countries them go take part in this rally. The Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Affairs and their partner them don't begin prepare for this event, and INSAI one update to journalists them but the Budapest Africa Relay for know how Salon ready for this event. The Minister of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, Madam Memunatu Prat, say this event na test case for Salon, as na this go show how Salon friendly and ready for tourism business. Sabtu Kalon be there na the ceremony and gonna report.
Salon will be the final destination of Budapest-Bamako Rally 2020, and the Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Affairs with them partner them get for put measure them in place for ensure say the country able and deserve for be the final destination of this rally. And INSAI in talk about preparation and measure them we they don't put in place of the Budapest Rally 2020. The Director of Tourism, Mohamed Jallo, start to explain about security and other measure them.
The Minister of Internal Affairs this morning here, and you have the AIG West, and of course other very high personalities within the Sierra Leone Armed Forces, the ONS, and other security apparatus. So in terms of security, arrangements are now on the way, and assessment will be done on site, and other necessary action will be taken to ensure that we do not have any challenge or issue, as this is a big test case for Sierra Leone. Among the vehicles that will be entering the country, that is about 210 vehicles. We've also got an extended 2 weeks permission for them to stay within country if they want to do that.
Mohamed Jallo took this inside update to journalists them. Now the Ministry of Tourism then conference room. Also he continue say plenty question and concern on the come out from some people if them people are get for go through medical test. And because of the health precaution we Salon they on now. For sake of the coronavirus within some country them for ensure say anybody with they come out in other country for come Salon go through medical test first. This the Director of Tourism Mohamed Jallo say they don't engage with the Ministry of Health for ensure say all them people here will come go through the medical test.
And as some of you are aware, they will be entering through Parmalat and also through Madina Ula. So we make sure that health officials are there to ensure that the health situation of our participants are checked before they enter the country, considering the coronavirus that prevails internationally. But the good thing is the places where they are coming from are places where we have not had cases of coronavirus.
Where it dey talk as the Minister of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, Madam Memuna Tuprat say the 700 participants them we get for take part in the Budapest-Bamako African one get for reach Salon Saturday, February 15 this year.
We're going to have a smooth sail when they come in on Saturday, which is the 15th. Of course, you have the rally category, then you have the tour category. As to how this is going to be handled very well, and Road Safety Authority as well. And of course, we're going to have the first stop at Masiaka to do the clearing up, because they will be putting up tents. And we are going to deploy hygiene facilities there and all of that for that day. And then in the evening, there is going to be a huge cultural event, pouring of libation, and we are going to have quite a number of other activities to showcase Sierra Leone's culture. And of course, they will use the opportunity to interact with locals.
Madam Memuna Tuprat continue say this event for let Salon be the final destination. Na test case for the country, we go show clear picture and send message to the world, but how tourism friendly and ready the country be.
They have their satellite television, their radio that will be reporting live on what is happening, and the sponsors of those rally also have their own media deployment facilities on Sierra Leone to see what is happening. There will be bloggers traveling with them. There will be travel writers, and what that implies is that we have to make sure that we present Sierra Leone in the manner that befits Sierra Leone. We have to do our best to ensure that the pictures that will be going out from Saturday to Sunday to the world ignites interest in coming to Sierra Leone. Those people who thought the war has not finished a long time ago will see this is a peaceful country. Those people who think mudslide, Ebola, we know it's now a thing of the past. To know that Sierra Leone is a peaceful country, it's a stable state. A country presents an opportunity for us to help young people, that we have all this energy. It's a country that can rank any other ecotourism destination for tourism.
The Minister of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, Madam Memuna Tuprat, be end up call on people where they do tourism business for make sure say they use this event for showcase and do proper packaging, but the different tourism team them where they sell. Now 700 people they take part in the Budapest-Bamako Rally, and then people here come out from 80 countries them na the world, and then go reach na Salon Saturday, February 15 this year. Then people here will get for Camp Salon, get different activity them. Also then get for plant 2,000 trees, do charity work, and visit different cultural and historic sites them. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Saptiu Kala on the report.
We continue the program, and we still get the DG for the NMA, where they talk on the mining sector. Now, earlier, Mr. DG, where they talk, you make mention of how the cancellation of the mining agreements has so not get any negative impact on the economy. But we see INSAI, the Bank Governor, the Ministry of Finance, even don't know them. They make mention, say, the mining, the cancellation, well, the sector, where the boom again gets negative impact on the economy. Why you say it not gets any negative?
Yeah, as I said earlier, we should refer to the booming years, 2013-14. When in two mining companies, African Minerals and London Mining, be the ship. Iron ore alone, the export value be more than $1 billion. If you look the record in 2013 and 14, we do $1.4 billion export. In 2014, we did about $1.1 billion export. Just after Ebola, that dropped down to about 300. As I say, the figures I don't get from NRA, just last week for 2019, now $350 million export. 2018, now $293 million. 2017, now $320 million. If you look at it, it's just within that area, but there's improvement between 2018 and 19. From which, then the total value of export, which the government gets in 2019 are just about $54 million. The biggest contribution now from actually taxes, and that tax is now about $30 million. But when you look at $15 million now actually from payee. Then now within the Sierra Leoneans, they say we they employ and them come within they pay. So we know they really get much from custom excise, now about $5.5 million. As I say, from mining license, who will they give? And all the royalties, who will they get? It's so small, now about $9 million. You understand? So when you look at that basket of things, from the time we will be there, everything be the boom. Let us not forget, say, we will talk about the economy, not only mining. I fully agree. You know, if you look at the Sierra Leone National Medium-Term National Development Plan of up to 2023, with the government be put out, it set for with two major targets that the mining contribution in terms of to domestic revenue generation, we get for improve on that from 10% to 20%, twice. Then the contribution we mining they make to the GDP, we get for improve on that from 5% in 2017 to 2024 fold. But at that time, when that will be the boom, the contribution we might be the make to the economy, now be 25%. But for the past 5 years, now about 4.5, 3.5, 5.6%, when all are in single digit. Now, with then cancellation in there, as I said earlier, the term will cancel on the 3rd of June, Shandong. 2 years, Shandong didn't contribute anything, anyway, to the economy. 2 years. Because they're going to voluntary suspension 2017 in November. So 2 years, they nobody contribute. SL Mining get license in March 2017. They only went into production in the first quarter of 2019. Up to that point, the tax contribution and non-tax contribution are now $2.9 million. The royalties where they don't pay so far, where I get from NRA, now just $100,000.
So the tax
so how that will actually affect the economy, I don't know. And where I say I don't know, because when I look at all the economic indicators, the exchange rate depreciation, we don't fluctuate. You get one of the most volatile economy. When you look at the government's expenditure, you understand, on which it is actually for service debt and also for pay salaries. So there's a whole gamut of things. I firmly believe, say, if we manage your mineral resources well, like what other country they do well. What would they talk about gold now? I just want to bring reality to people. You know what's in a gold export in 2019? 75 kilo. How much the government get? $77,000. If you divide that by everybody, would they get less than 5 cents?
The tax fund gets for improve on the revenue generation from the mining sector. From the mining sector, waiting at the indicators, the way they should say yes, we are going to improve, or we they improve.
Exactly. Currently, we get 15 large-scale mining licenses. So they're out now for operational. We project in the next, by the end of this year, we don't give license to Wongo investment for the first time that they mine gold na Kumau, na Kono. Then they be done the mineral resource number 2.6 million ounce gold. Then over billions of dollars. Then we don't also give license, full large scale mining license to Maya Mining Company na Kono. Already the Shandong we don't cancel. I'm happy for tell everybody we don't allocate that license already to Kingo.
So possibility not for letting come.
No, Shandong they can again. Other company don't take over. We say Shandong be there, including the rail and port. That we negotiate with the government now. You know, for the government we get 10%. So if not to this coronavirus, the Chinese team for don't just demobilize. The idea was by end of March they for don't go into full production. Then Shandong and Kingo they talk amongst themselves. You know, at the Chinese diplomatic level.
So how about
that area they get job back. I did make up the tell people and say directly, indirectly, we get for create 16,000 jobs. We get other 9 major companies the way they come into production. We don't give small scale. Just in 2019, 10 small scale mining license in which Iranians get minimum 25% stake. We don't look, you know, every time we do this, we get to called financial model. We do econometric modeling. We see to then people in there. As I say, we look at the net present value, internal rate of return. We look at the average weight cost of their things. We look at projections and commodity prices. We know they in hand, but we don't make all them projections. We not just dream about them. So now that's what they look at. But when we talk about the economy, as I say, we know we are economy not diversified. There are bigger issues than just mining. So SL Mining, where they ask, with the arbitration.
So
yeah,
they
we don't get a license to nobody yet.
Okay,
yes?
But they go ever operate in Salone again?
No, I don't believe so, because we don't terminate. We don't terminate. Based on all indicators and everything that we did and all which we know, SL Mining they can again.
So we also understand, say, because of this same SL Mining, now it makes Salone not able to get the MCC because, like I be talk earlier, the Americans get interest in it.
You know, the Millennium Challenge Corporation unit where they operate now, and that program they will come into 2004. You know, I was saying about American interest, and I respect them for that because then they see your interest. I wish we will get what we call Millennium Challenge Corporation unit for Sierra Leone, where the 6 Sierra Leone interest for Sierra Leoneans, for the poor picking them, the mamid and the brothers and sisters who will not get job. We also go 6 Sierra Leone interest. Sierra Leone qualified, for the MCCU years back. I mean, from 2015 September, we get first meal money in 2016 February, $44.4 million. I think currently they're not just disbursed less than $27 million. More now on the water sector, electricity sector, the regulatory. It has nothing to do with mining.
But the main money when the country forget, not get them.
But wait, whenever MCCU tied to a mining company in terms of the indicators, go look all the indicators, go look the scorecard. It has no relationship. There's a perception. Look, the American man, they get the money. Now then go decide what they go give. They go give that money to they decide for suspend. It happen in other country there. But in nowhere in the annals of Sierra Leone, on the history of the look, where the mining sector is tied to Millennium Challenge Corporation's scorecard. So then are completely two different projects.
Back to the economy.
People me care about.
Back to the economy, INSAI will be made for understand. Say the mining, the sector will be make over $400 million.
More than the billions.
That and also private company they be the way they be the work directly with the people they company there. All they lost their job. Yes, and you still insist say that cancellation there or that sector they not get anything for do negatively on the economy.
Okay, the time we will terminate on the 3rd of June, Shandong, they employ about 230, roughly about 236 people. The time on the 3rd of July, where we actually terminate SL mining, directly they employ about 652 people. Indirectly, they get 7 contractors where they employ another maybe 500-600. But I just want also talk say the time where mining be go on. Yes, we get up to directly, indirectly. The booming years will be over indirectly and directly over 30,000 jobs. Now, it pains me when every Sierra Leonean lost one job because I know what it means for work. But let me overhype this. As I say, we say we cancel Shandong. The time they began about 236 people. The new company where they come, we believe say before the end of the year, they employ over 3,000 people.
But not
indirectly.
Same people for benefit.
Sorry?
Not to the same people.
Trust me, mostly not the same people. I'll tell you why. You see, the mining sector, especially iron ore, Nadalun, Shamarampa, Tonkolili, the Axis, we don't get to man, boy picking and gear picking, we don't train over the years, they don't train, and I believe that's what we get for in the mining sector. So we get a pool reserve. In fact, that's one of the best indicators them, where we use for attract investors, so you already get a pool of people that will sabi operate rail, sabi operate ports, sabi operate mines, and other stuff. So we still get over 30,000 people directly, indirectly, we don't benefit from their jobs, we could do better.
Before we go for this short break, how true is it that the Attorney General or the Ministry of that ministry, they advise wrongly the National Minerals Agency?
I mean, this is really sad for the people that think that way. The Attorney General, she's well landed, well experienced. She worked in that office years before you go even go do EPG and come back in mineral resources. I mean, where I sit, I'm not going to allow, I'm not talking say I get monopoly over knowledge, but I don't think anybody go advise me wrongly. I mean, self, I get experience 28 years, I do widely. I don't work in this community. Every mining company in this country, the communities, I don't work there. I don't engage the people. I don't do consultations. I don't do mineral resource mapping. So for less somebody just can't say, in the advice, I get directors. NMA are blessed. I get a lot of young, talented people in mining, in geology.
Where we get you blessing.
Sorry?
They advise them where the AG they give, it gets you blessing.
The Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, now then with legal representation. Right. Now then the advice we legally will not clear. And that's so it for be, because they represent the government of Sierra Leone. The Office of the Attorney General, they get smart lawyers, smart individuals.
Good morning, Salon, Julius Mataya, the Director General at NMA, where they take commercial break and can look at other issues in the program. Continue for the retreat.
They causing confusion. But this confuse me, boo. Look where Uncle Nat in World Solid. Look him block them where them beat for him, where they save solid, and at the same amount of cement and sand then they use for bitumen. But look what in the happen. Me wall down for them, all the block they all don't scatter. It like say some kind of magic they behind this. You want to know the magic behind this? Now the superior quality. Extra strong, extra life, and extra yield cement where are the use, and that's not Dangote 3X Portland limestone cement. Dangote cement now the highest grade cement in the country. When a 42.5 R grade cement, when a one day come na this country, and a one of the highest grade pan cement where you go get na the wall. Where you want your concrete, wall, and block solid, use Dangote 42.5 R cement, you no go regret them. You go get Dangote 42.5 R cement na all the shop and building material store na the one whole country.
All right, we continue with the program, and we still get Julius Mataya inside the program. They talk about the mining sector. Now let me look at the law. Earlier we start for talk, you talk about the review, the law back. What's in day but the law won't want review?
You see, as I said earlier, you see, those who they invest in mining, what did they look for? Different. We get what you call the Fraser Index, you know, about investing in the mining. Then they look at the mineralization we get and also the policies that we guide. We done launch 3 policies in May last year. We launched the mining policy, then we launched artisanal policy and geological policy. Then policy, then people they want to know how they translate that into law. As I said, the 2009 Act will get what they use. We don't look at it, we don't see some things that don't change. Even the environment in which we operate. So now right now, we're in the process in-house. We take all the best people and we go on public consultation just in the next 2 weeks, all over the country. We talk to every government MDAs, we talk to every international organization, local communities and everybody for get an opinion before we do that. Because where investors they come, now that thing concerned about the regulatory environment. How transparency the law did. Let there not be duplications. You know, like with the EPA, the National Protected Area Agency, and WSF, the work, let there not be duplications. They want clarity. They want to know the fiscal regimes. We get the Extractive Industry Revenue Act of 2018. So we consolidate that all into a law for make sure, say, where investors then come, they're clear about who they for go to and which they for do, which institutions, and how for set up business. And that review, we don't look at what they happen in Ghana, we don't look at what they happen in Liberia, Kenya, South Africa. So we actually work together. We get the World Bank project to be provide funding for that. Unfortunately, the way the review go on that it not go well, but we don't take ownership of for doing in-house. We will do extensive consultation next week. Once that day they done, now investors they will look at where we go for the Indaba. Now then people they ask, mineralization, regulatory policies.
We can't talk about the Indaba, but diamond. Really, outside world, there's service salon for.
Yeah.
What's it happen at that sector? How are they monitored?
You see, the diamond sector, again, as I said, since we began long ago in the 30s and 40s, and we go through a lot of challenges with the artisanal diamond mining scheme, then also this, you know, which would be called in the 1956 about some schemes that would be set up, you know, I don't forget the actual name. But, you know, we don't go to artisanal mining, now all man they focus on. And then they employ over some people they say 300,000 to 500,000. The whole artisanal mining for 2019, now just about 68 million we get from there. And which in the government get about 1.8 million.
On the monitor?
With the monitor, we get 274 mine monitors for the first time we employ.
So now, what's the happen where governments not they get better money from?
Because I mean, if you go tell people and say artisanal mining are only for Sierra Leoneans, and the space you say they mine enough for pass 100 meters by 50 meters, enough for dig past 10 meters. But then we know say don't have for fences, then we say they don't allow them for use machinery. So that man they tell we say, but we believe say we need for change that area and allow people to for use machinery, let regulate them so they go fend more. Resource depletion, so called hard for fencing and now. So we work on that day, we train people. There's 275 mine monitors who employ. Actually, all of them are graduates. We give them technology, we get for the use drone them now, we train them, we give them materials, all from NMA budget for actually train them so they go able to monitor not only the artisanal miners,
that takes me to the issue of ownership.
And the others.
Ownership. What's in the procedure for let somebody gets an area say yeah, na me get here, na me the mine here. Especially for this type of mining where we talk about
artisanal mining. You see, weapons you want to apply. Let us not forget, say the local chiefs that they get, now they are the custodians of the land. So now you have to go take land agreements from the force, give you land, they kind of enemy apply. The procedure is very transparent. It's so easy. We get 5 regional offices around the country, so they know if you get for Canada return. We get a Bo, we get a Kenema, we get a Kono, we get a McKinney. So the process is very transparent. The challenge is all they get. Now them becoming the way they can't take license, they say that they explore. They organize license there, but they mine, they export. I mean, it's so sad as I say earlier for gold. For long we don't know for gold. 75 kilos now they do. When Guinea they do 14,000 kilograms. The diamond we talk about, Kwedu Holding are the only mining company where they do large scale mining. I mean, for 2019, about $105 million. Again, if you work out that, they pay royalty of 6.5%, then they pay export duty of 3%. We watch all land, it's less than 4 million. So then at the reality we need for manage resources well. We need human capacity. We need for develop the institutions. You see, I always say character, competence, and capability in the institution and go allow it for deliver. So we they actually enhance human resource, they develop people and they train them in-house and making sure say they do the right things right.
When we do geophysical survey, we understand say Salon gets new mine mineral them. Yeah. How to?
The geophysical survey that the World Bank sponsor it started in January 2019. We don't just done them. The DEPA do the data interpretation, and the data will be available at the end of March 2020. USAID as serious Director General get excited because all these years we know that the minerals are not more the typical basket, bauxite, iron ore, gold, diamond, what. But the geology of Sierra Leone is so interesting and complex, and we're blessed. I can always tell people, like you say, we're in a small nation, we're in a small population, small people. The 10 most wealthiest countries in terms of GNI, gross national income, the 10 countries, they're all. In area, the small parts alone. In population, the small parts alone. Take them: Singapore, Luxembourg, Kuwait, Qatar, Brunei. So for me, like I can tell people that this Freetown Hill is what they see. We call them the Freetown Layered Igneous Complex. It's very similar to what South Africa gets. The South African Bushveld Igneous Complex. Inside they fed all the platinum group metals. Inside, they generate billions. We believe, say, we discover new minerals, platinum group metals. We're very expensive. We also believe, say, they be the mine chromite and akenema. That whole axis, Bo, Pujam, Kenema, Kaila, no last day mine in all day. But we said that gold forest in the area. We know say chromite day, we know say platinum day, we know say cobalt day, we know say iron ore day, we know say tin day, but we not only know exactly what the quantity, whether marketable or mineable. So now that they will try for whether data available, we do geochemical geological survey. And I believe that alone said the great jobs of people. People are so interested in going to the Indaba, they want to know when this
So
editor
that
will be
just
available.
brings me to the issue of this Indaba much talked about conference where the president and some other people just come out attend now South Africa, waiting come out today for Salon.
You see, the Indaba now the biggest mining show in Africa. That's now the 26th one. Now be a honor for invite the president. He go give a wonderful speech. A wonderful speech. I mean, I want to remind people them. Then when they see all things they go on social media, which the president go talk about the theme for that Indaba. It be quite clear. It say optimizing growth and innovation in digitized mining environment. The reason being technology they don't improve anything. Some job they do now in the next 10 years they're not going to be available now robot or that thing that they do. So they give the president opportunity for actually go talk about that and also sell Sierra Leone. And we begin booth for the first time in the history of Sierra Leone. We first just go pass. We get booth, that kiosk was always full. We get country case study, we invite all the CEOs of the 6 major companies, they all go.
Let's have the showcase there.
We showcase the geophysical survey, we showcase the geology of Sierra Leone, we showcase the revisions that will take place in regulatory environment in terms of legislation, we showcase the ability which Sierra Leone get, for attract investors, for saying, look, we get a good tax regime, it's very clear, the security of tenure, we are a country where they adhere to rule of law, and not only that, we get meetings with over 24 major companies, them, big ones, them. What they talk about Anglo-American, Rio Tinto, Arosa, Rusal. We get already, we gave it 2 formidable lady winner billionaires in South Africa. We don't express interest. One the Kaya in the next 2 weeks. Then we get other, Usa are there. We get other companies that we don't express interest. We get already the Russians and second interest for Kaya interpret. So for me, the future looks bright.
All right, now this Indaba we understand say presidents we also meet with the Minister of Finance today. Also one of the minister they will meet with that South Africans therefore can invest in both I think the energy and the mine sector. How true is that? I've been
in most of the meetings. They get goosebumps because people were queuing outside for actually can't talk to the president. And I was there providing technical advice. As I don't say, forget companies like the Bears, Anglo-American, Rio Tinto, Rusal, they all express interest. The South Africans, of course, 2 formidable ladies, we the billionaires, where they do, in fact, they be so keen on Sierra Leone, they provide private jets for director of mines, director of geological survey, and deputy director. They fly them 2 hours for go look at manganese mine for see what they do. They say they want to replicate that in Salon if we get manganese. Not only that, with the other basket of minerals we will get. I want to talk to us Sierra Leoneans. Honestly, Usa Sidona, Aditeruna, 2020, 2021, the mining sector, it provide jobs, it strengthen the economy. Regulatory issues, one thing we need to do, let believe in itself. Because for institution must get a character, must get competence and capacity. Now that we need to do. We get a brilliant Sierra Leoneans, young men and women.
Salon people really thirst for results and want for see the reality of it. With all this, we don't talk about the new minerals, say, I don't get other mining, they like rutile, then they do their work. But let me look at when really the economy, the sector will begin boom back and like how it been there before.
To me, the sector is already booming. As I tell you, 2018, 293 million, 90 sector generates. 2019, 350 million. If that's not to increase land, NMA on we own, in 2019 we generate 24 million. Now be 23 million in 2018. Now be 21 million in 2017. Not improvement than there. We don't get already artisanal miners, 1,495 registered. We get 15 large-scale mining companies, 4 operational. We get 13. It translates
in the economy. Jobs. Yeah, but we see say na NRA more they bring in the resources for the country as we speak.
And then we know they collect money. All we money it go into NRA, it go into the consolidated fund. You see, the economy, as I say, is bigger than just the mining. We get for diversify, and you know, as I've always said, we get for translating mineral resources into social capital. So the economy, when I get for talk to the Ministry of Finance, you know, generally about the economy, I can tell you, I don't engage them on the impact they make. As those figures I don't give you, I don't just make them up. When I can go check the records, they have been on the increase and more in 2019 since I take over.
If they talk about for diversify in the mining sector, we get the different minerals and where they contribute, but more so people be done the focus on the diamond. What's other area you think say at this time they continue for focus on as well? Where if you say potential there for revenue generation?
Now value addition. You see, we just export everything raw. For over 8 decades, we take diamond and gold, we just send them out. Where we can actually set diamond cutting and polishing. I train with people, like young men and women. Gold send at the same thing, refining and smelting. Iron ore, we just take and we send out. You understand? Where we can able to do that in there. The same thing with bauxite. Right now, Vermetco, they talk about for established trihydrate plants, where actually they go refine it into aluminum, where they go to take that, it creates other jobs. So for me, they get what we call upstream, side stream, and downstream. When we actually look at that gamut of basket of things, we encourage you young men and women. We get that belief and faith in them. We train them. They get the requisite skill. The economy, they grow. Right. Not only the money they put inside NRA. For me, the communities are extremely important because the communities themselves, if they're not in harmony with the mining companies, they will get problem. Currently, we get over $500,000 ready for actually distributing in Diamond Area Community Development Fund. We actually get $2.1 million ready as part of the community development agreement for share to these communities. Already surface rent, we don't pay over $2 million. Today is a route that they pay. But we know we get for help with people and for manage this money. And the challenge always your unions go around all the mining communities and show me one community where you go say this community don't develop because of mining. Now we need for really sit down, introspect yourself as Sierra Leoneans, say, wait, what we don't do wrong? Can we think outside the space? Who shall be done there? This cry what they cry, you know, look, other country, they give you a good example, Burkina Faso, then just revised the Mining Act in August 2019. The gold production will be 760 kilo. Now they do 226,000. Why? Because they revised the Mining Act, enable the institutions. Now that's
Julius Matai, continue for the between at the studio. They go and listen to Wakabot and continue.
I love me people.
When the mind that you want that, I reach a god on Camo, I take a bossa, at the cam, I know the Gondon, the guy pass mad, I know the Salai no peto, I know the right now. The rest you not going pricing just the shoot up. But again, I want you make few calls because after they talk now about 6 months this, them policeman they not one but let's go because why make policeman then they say now you be say you na manage it na but the first you care for I say go now we be so you don't come I say do ya I been expected from man for don't go below I've been expected this is trouble for don't take place. Yes, so but go who still they begin to die on announced visit back. I say I go now 1 ministry then they say oh minister if you know what o'clock he come me not honorable Wakabot.
All right, we continue with the program Good Morning Salon, where they come to you from 98.1 FM. We still get the DG and the program for the National Mineral Agency. They talk about the sector and waiting. They do and plans for improve on the sector. DG, we look at messages them we don't come na the program this morning. The first message we are going to look at from the Facebook page from Hassan Mansour. And we say this government doesn't have the character, capability, and know-how of how to deliver.
This other message will come out from Albert Thomas. They say exactly we need to train and educate Sierra Leoneans in the mining sector. Doing that will benefit our country more. Human resources is a bedrock to the development of our country.
Zaramans on Facebook, Mr. DG, with no regret, you have my respect. I can see reality, sincerity, and a real man that loves his motherland. His Excellency did the right thing by appointing you. You give me a lot of hope this morning by believing in Sierra Leone again. You made me realize that no matter what, there is still good and honest people.
This other message is say, when will the mining communities start benefiting from our natural resources because they are residing in those communities?
This one say, I can challenge you, Mr. DG, that the Attorney General's office is very arrogant and advising you wrongly. But let's see what the court will say. More message, we don't come inside the program. This one say, is it true, are you saying that the mining sector, the waiting happen, not get no negative impact on the economy? Mr. DG, are you really serious with that? But I can tell you that the mining sector really they help in the economy in this country.
This other one from Abubi Kamara, they say, how are you attracting investors when you are unceremoniously terminating contracts without involving the legislators?
Willie Williams on Facebook, he sounds and has been providing enough evidence that he is the right man in that right place. What a right attitude. God bless HBO.
This other one say, what has the natural resources done for the country? Is it, or has it been a curse or a blessing over the years?
More message, we don't come inside the program. All Sierra Leoneans should support the sensitization of the extractive sector for our collective prosperity. Quick fixing of the economy with shady deals can only further deepen our poverty pool. This SL mining deal was never in our nation's interest. Posterity will judge the DG and the minister. Bravo and solidarity. Few more. Right, well, we don't get time. Mr. DG, plenty message they come for you, but let's just respond to it.
Yes, as I say, I just reiterated to the president, they say we Sierra Leone open to investors, but we want credible investors. The one that we respect with law, the one they respect with people, the one they respect with dignity, the one they respect with somebodyness, and make sure so we do things from win-win-win perspective. Win for the investor, win for the country, win for the communities. Of course, I agree, say, with capacity we need for Bilam. I've always said in any institution you get to identify the ability of people that get build their competencies by actually providing improving the capabilities, the capacity for deliver. So now that we do, NMA will take her into take us a learning institution, and we get for educate people. And we get a lot of talented young men and women. Human capital is important. If we're not able to train them with the right, now mining as it go smart mining. Artificial intelligence, blockchain, Internet of Things. This is another reality now anybody talk about. So surely we need to make sure we get institutions that do that. Whether they give Sierra Leoneans hope, I always said this. I was out for 26 years, 11 years ago. I see Sierra Leone as I see myself. I'll work day and night with all my body, soul, and spirit for make sure I'll do the right thing. Then when they say whether the community the benefits, now one of the things and that way always give me nightmare. I don't go up actually every mining community in this country over the last 8 years. I know they see one community, but we need to work with them. They rely on we as the specialists, so we need to do more by believing in ourselves. So we do things professionally with integrity and make sure we increase the level of knowledge of the people. Whether the one they say the AG office arrogant and they advise me wrongly, as I say, maybe not their ignorance. I'm sorry for that, but I'm more than happy for encourage people let them engage AGs in office or let them can NMA. We go actually educate them. The one they say the economy negatively, not if not too true. As I say, if you look at all the indicators, you see economic indicators, history not a lie. Go look at some of the report, the Sierra Leone economic update. 2018. Go and look at also within the World Bank we do the report in the way they call systematic country diagnostic reports. Go look at them. We get kind of enemy. We'll show you all the figures. How basically we attract investors. That's what we are doing. We need with our efforts. We revise the laws and regulations to make them very conducive for credible investors. But again, I repeat, any rogue person we can for can't cheat me people them. Where they can actually for cheat me people them. That we not go agree.
Any company we don't have to cheat.
Oh yes, as I say, but good thing go unravel. SL mine in a one. Because I know say the AGB charge them not only with they also for corruption practices, but I know they go into that. Where the facts come out, one day when I will go to enjoy say thank God.
When somebody just say rumors are going around that AFC wants this SL mining license, why is it that the government attended a cocktail made by AFC in South Africa? What is the connection? Well, did you attend the cocktail?
Yes. Oh, it was a wonderful cocktail. We get over 200 people there.
So now they want to give the license.
When I say investors don't know the cancer alone, then nobody know Anka. AFC now one of the AFC Kaya Africa NMA 2014, where they end up we reject them. They're gonna Guinea. They go one company Alufa, they do 6 million tons of bauxite. Now we they do 2. Then say now one. So when they say investors no one come.
So now they want to get SL mining
no,
their license.
Then say now one of the candidates. We get past 20 candidates there. We don't apply not only for that but for other areas. So now make a case, me privy to information. So the cocktail, of course, we'll be doing more cocktails. One of the best because we get over 200 investors there. Apply and one candidate. So tell a person they say investors no one cancer alone, but they worry about AFC. Why make SL Mine don't go they try for say no, we will not forget the place to any. I can tell over get 20 interest, not only in that but in other areas. Whether this thing a curse or blessing. They get this way they can talk, say, mineral resource na course. Me say, at the pulley SD na cure. And that we do, na mineral cure with the. And of course, we support all Sierra Leoneans. I encourage Sierra Leoneans when I give you support with the work for owner. Me, their net.
So now I lost battle SL mining the fate. Finally,
we don't terminate. That's the end of it. Not
right.
We're
so
not going back.
Saying as because we are so aggressive with them, because now when I believe say some people in the past governments get hands or shares in the company.
I want to say we're aggressive, we're efficient, we're effective. We work with professionalism, with integrity, and the patriotism and commitment for help the typical Sierra Leone. That's not aggression.
So do the right things right. So say former government officials then get hands in SL mining.
I have no clue about that. I don't get evidence of that.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Director General of NMA, Julius Daniel Matai. Ikaya this morning, hope so do justice to the sector. But clearly, we will, and definitely we're going to bring in camp. We'll say then we can update people in the industry. Thank you very much for the program.
Thanks for all
good morning. Naya, good morning, Salon. We end the program this morning. Plenty thank you to our studio guests, to our producer them, Michael Sambola and Alex Lawrence Koma. DJ Amar, thank you very much for technical support, and also Moses Kevora and team. Until then, me Asma James to say goodbye.
And the Bembel Kawadi to get yourself a wonderful day.
All right, family, stay tuned. We continue with more programs them out there, and as soon as we get information, we'll bring and come up out there to you.